previous episode.
And this is where I really think about a hike and fly equipment. A little lighter harness, lighter weight.
So I just received the Advance Easiness 3 reversible lightweight harness from Superfly, and I've bought quite a few things from them. And Advance is always a great product. They start out with this little easy to get going little pamphlet they send you, and you can get the full manual if you go online. And I look at the Easiness 3 harness as kind of a lightweight version of the Progress 2 that I have. They both use an airbag safety system, mostly protecting your bum. This one does have some intake ducts, a little bit different, but same concept. They also have these little flexible rods that kind of extend that airbag when you're in flight. I also received a container for your reserve that this can go into the airbag section, but I opted to go with a front reserve, and this is optional. And I got the Advanced Zip Light container. This is a medium size that should work. You can also fly this harness without that airbag protector. If you do take it off, then you put on that backside cover, which Superfly did send to me. I really don't think I'll be flying this much without that airbag protector, but you never know. It's a nice option. Overall, on my back, just as a backpack here, it's very comfortable, very light. Just like the Progress 2 that I have, you secure the helmet on top of the backpack with the stretchy covering. Just like all the other advanced products I've had, this seems like a very well-made and well-designed product. The shoulder straps here are lightweight, yet they're very cushiony. Again, from what I've felt so far and having it on my back, it seems very comfortable. On the waistband, there's a zipper pocket on the right side so you can secure your valuables, and then there's just an open stretch pocket on the left just for, well, what I use it for is like energy bars and so on, just like the Progress 2. On the outside, you do have some stretchy pockets again. I could fit a small water bottle here. Again, I have it pretty well packed with my wing and the reserve, so maybe with a lightweight wing it'd be a little bit less confining. Little zipper pocket here. Yeah, so some nice touches. So this is a reversible harness, so here it is in the flying position. Very lightweight. It will not stand up on its own. You'll see later on. These are split leg, no seat boards here, and the Progress 2 I have is split leg. I'm very used to that. I've also flown a paramotor with a split leg harness. I like it. I've gotten used to it. So now a seat board feels weird to me. Pull through buckles, which are very secure, pretty foolproof, but with thick gloves, yeah, it can be a little bit more of a challenge to get these rather than just the clip-ons. Very similar carabiners to the ones I've been using in the Progress 2. These nice little firm side panels you can see here. They really kind of give you a snug feeling when you're strapped in. So I know I keep saying this, but this is very similar to the Progress 2, just a really lightweight version of it. The profile is very similar. Both have an airbag protector, except this one, as I mentioned earlier, has more of a duct intake right here with those little flexible rods to keep it open. So on to my hang test. There's two adjustments. One is your shoulder straps, and as well as a adjustment for how far upright or back you want to be. I like being a little further back rather than straight upright. Also put on the reserve, fits really well, very light, compact. And I'll do the speed bar adjustment after I have my wing attached and after a few flights and get that dialed in. I have found that split leg harnesses are pretty easy to get back into after launch. On landing, maybe a little bit more effort extending those legs and getting more upright, but again, just something to get used to. And as I said, I'm really used to it by now. So I thought you might like to see what the Progress 2 looks like compared to the Easiness 3. This is the one I currently have. Very nice, very robust, heavier, of course, more heavy duty materials. Does have an easier click in split leg portion. Everything else is very similar. You do have an adjustment on the Progress 2 between the two split legs. This is something that the Easiness 3 does not have. So the Easiness 3, very similar, but obviously is lightweight, looks more lightweight. Materials are lighter, so you do perhaps have to be much more, I think, caring for the material. It does not have an adjustment between the split legs here. Obviously, everything is to reduce some weight. Here's these pull-through buckles, getting a little better at it. With heavy gloves, might be a little bit more of a challenge, at least for me at this point. The front reserve is pretty light. It fits very nicely in the front carabiners, putting this on first and then attaching the wing. The flexible speed bar loop can be secured to the bottom of the harness with a tab that is magnet secured. You can do a better job than I did here. And then it's very easy to release that when you need it. Comfort-wise, obviously I'm going to have to see how it performs in flight. I am assuming that in a long flight, the Progress 2 and now the Progress 3 would be more comfortable. But from what I have gleaned from other reviews is that this harness is very comfortable for general flying. So you can see the Progress 2 harness here on the left is just much more of a heavy-duty harness than the lighter Easiness 3. Okay, so here's my Progress 2 harness that I've been using for over 3 years now. This is with the wing, my Epsilon 8 in the compression bag, the helmet, and my Beamer 3 Reserve, 26.7 pounds, or 12.1 kilograms. Okay, so this is the Easiness 3 harness with the same equipment as I had on the Progress 2, both from Advance, of course. It has the helmet, it has the Epsilon 8 wing in the compression bag. It also has the APCO Mayday Light Reserve, and that's the front reserve, 9.95 kilograms and 21.9 pounds. It's obviously much more compact, feels very light on my back, just like a nice harness that you go backpacking. The Epsilon 8 is a light-ish wing. It's not a lightweight wing, and that just fits in there. So if you have a full-size, full-weight wing, it's going to be tight. So again, my goal is to get a lightweight wing. I'm going to be demoing the Advance Psi, which is the lightweight version of the Yoda 2. They did not have the Pi 2 in the size I wanted to demo. I wanted the 27, so I could do more thermaling in that, as well as some hiking, and I could fly. I may try the 23. but I'm first going to see how the Psy is, and that's a very lightweight wing. Not so much that it's light, it's just much easier to compress into the compression bag and get into the harness, so I have a little more room. But I have my reserve packed right here. There's the reserve, and the wing is packed right there. I also have this area here that I'm going to put a little bit bulkier items, maybe my flight suit, which is a little thicker for colder weather. I also have a helmet bag that I'll put my gloves, neck warmer, maybe a couple of gloves. I'm going to put that right in there in the bag so it doesn't get loose and fall out. I do think you have to be a little bit more careful, and the materials are lighter, not as heavy duty as the Progress 2, but that's the whole purpose of this harness. Okay, so this is what I would normally take with me when I'm flying. This could change a little bit, either lighter clothing, maybe heavier clothing, but in California here it doesn't get too bad to where I need really heavy duty gloves. But I do have a neck warmer, my simple Vario, some gloves, either half gloves or full gloves. These are pretty nice for colder weather. They really keep my hands warm. Maybe an extra shirt, a little fanny pack. And this is the bag that I'm going to put everything in. And you can see here, I have a bag in this little pouch. That contains my flight suit. So I usually wear that unless it's really warm. If I go to Torrey, just doing some simple flights, I won't wear it. But because it can get cold, I'd rather be a little warm than too cold. Okay, so now we're going to weigh the Advance Easiness 3. And this has everything that I would normally take. I've got my flight suit, that little pouch, helmet, gloves, reserve, wing, the Epsilon 8. You can see it's 89.85 kilograms, 198.1 pounds. So here I'm at the park, going to do a little kiting with the new Easiness 3 harness from Advance, and just see how that feels. I also have a wing that I've been demoing from a friend of mine. It's the Yota 2. It's a 23. I would fly with the 25. I'm a little heavier, but it's given me a good feel for the wing, and so we're going to fly that. Well, we're going to kite that today with the new harness. So we'll see how that feels. This is the Yota 2 23-meter wing. It's a 4.6 kilograms, 5.6 aspect ratio wing. My Epsilon 8, I think it's around 4.95, I believe, and it's a 5.1 aspect ratio. Their new Epsilon 9s are actually 5.2 now. Yeah, it's supposed to be a little better performing, but for today, we're going to try and kite this Yota 2. Okay, safety tip coming up. Always put on that helmet before clipping in, because you'll never know what could hit you. Today was not a good day to be kiting. The wind was all over the place, a lot of thermals coming through. We actually have Santa Ana conditions. Inland is where it's high winds. Here, it's just kind of a gusty, lousy day, but I really was motivated to put this harness on and kite the wing. Overall, it felt very nice, no surprises, very comfortable. The one thing I will say is that when you're trying to do forwards and kite going forward, it really does dig in between your legs in that crotch region. It was a little bit of a surprise. It doesn't have that separation that the Progress 2 has with adjustment, so it lets you know it's there. Again, you can do this for a little bit. If you wanted to kite for a long time going forward, you might want to put some padding down there. So after about, I would say 30 minutes of swirling winds, kiting, and failed forward launches, I figured it was just about time that I'm going to wrap this up. But it was nice to get out. I really did enjoy the harness. Again, except for this ford right here, I'm going, yeah, I don't want to do this for too long. Right here, the wind was coming from the south. I just basically turned around because then the wind was now coming from the north. And then I just laid it down. Goofy day. And I'll pack up here, and by the time you see this, I'll have it edited so you'll miss all the really bad parts. Okay, some final thoughts as I'm walking back to my car. So the Advance 3 Easiness, well, let me say that right. The Advance Easiness 3 lightweight reversible harness. What do I think? I think it's great. Again, I've not flown a lot of other very lightweight, and I didn't want something that's simply a hike and fly mountain. Yeah, you hike up with this diaper, and then or you fly down with the diaper. So I didn't want something that light. And this is a nice compromise, I think. It's much lighter and more compact than the Progress 2, which now is the Progress 3. I'm really looking forward to actually flying with it. Unfortunately, this week is just bad. It's not going to be any flying. But next week, and I have the demo Advanced Psi coming in with a lightweight wing, or a lightish weight wing. It works. It's going to work great. I'm looking forward again reducing that weight and doing some hiking and then thermaling. So that's what my goals are. We'll see what wing I finally end up with. I don't know if I'll sell the Epsilon 8. I might just keep that. It's a great paramotor wing. I have the Spider. One of those might go. It's always an adventure. So thanks a lot again. I appreciate you watching. If you find it interesting and informative and all that stuff, feel free to subscribe. And I like doing more of the reviews and flying new wings, harnesses. Of course, I don't buy a new thing every week, but when I do, I like to really go over it and see if you guys agree, see if you have any comments, see what your experiences have been. All right, take care. Okay, I promise, this is it. This is the very last thing I'm going to record for this video, but I've been standing here just doing other stuff with this backpack on, as you can see, and I'm not even noticing it in the sense that, oh yeah, I got to take this thing off, it's big and bulky, and this is a really nice experience. And again, I pretty much have everything in here that I would use to go flying. The only thing I don't have is my flight suit, not too heavy. So that's it, I promise.